Hiya, it is the post-match pint. I'm Josh Sexton, joined today by Andy Heaton and Andrew Misra. Some of the lads are down at Wolves today, so you'll be able to see some inserts from them as and when.
But might have seen them earlier.
Might have seen them earlier. You might have seen them on Sky Sports. Neil Atkinson, famously a better pundit than Gary Neville, as so says Gary Neville himself. So you can't say fairer than that, can you?
But lads, you know what? I'm just made up. We've got 2 weeks off because I can't be dealing with the ego after all that.
I'm just made up to be here, you know, supplying for our audience, you know, no Sky Sports audience.
See, he got his haircut. He
got it cut especially, yeah.
And he's a better pundit than Gary Neville now. So.
Paul Senior's not. Neil
No, Neil maybe, but you know.
Sorry, Paul. Anyway, Liverpool played 18, won 15, drawn 3, lost 0, 48 points. Andy, top of the tree at Christmas. You can't say fairer than that, can you?
No, you absolutely can't. And it just seems to. I know, keep repeating this. Another question asked, another question answered. I think Wolves are a good side. I think they showed that. You know, you're talking about a team that got a point against Man City. They beat Chelsea the other week, and they seemed very much on it tonight. And we just showed character and resilience. I think for the most part, you know, you can't argue with the results. Also, I think we saw the sides of Liverpool that we're seeing more and more of is when we're not in total control. We don't seem to be in this panic mode. We just seem a lot calmer, a lot more controlled, and there just seems to be. I don't know, when previously when alarm bells have gone off, everyone seems to go to shit, so to speak. Whereas now it just seems like they're all digging each other. They can look over the shoulder and there's someone there behind them to take them out when we do make the odd mistake.
Yeah, and Andy, obviously the quotes in the week from Lovren, everyone's been sort of slaughtering him throughout the whole week. It's almost like they don't even matter now, does it? Like I think you can make some comments about his performance tonight, but for the most part, you know, Liverpool top of the league. Why are you asked?
Yeah, thankfully it didn't matter at all. I'll be perfectly honest in saying I was very worried, mainly because of Dejan Lovren's comments before this game.
Oh, lad.
But why was I? You know, this is clearly a different Liverpool side now.
But why don't he's asked the question in a press conference?
I know, but I feel like it's because it's him.
Oh no,
I feel like it's because it's him. You know, if it was Van Dijk, it'd be all right.
They don't choose. He gets put forward though. So like he gets put forward to give a quote. So if he goes, oh no, we shit.
I think almost purely on the reaction, you can worry that it's Lovren because like I've sort of said to loads of people since then, if it was Virgil van Dijk, it'd have got a much better reaction because it's Dejan Lovren. I think almost sometimes that reaction can maybe even feed into the performance. Might not have been at his best tonight in some sort of spells. I don't think the weather helped in particular. I don't know if you want to use that as an excuse, but we've won the game, so he was asked.
Exactly, 3 points, who cares?
Exactly.
Yeah, top of the league Christmas.
He's not wrong, by the way. He's not wrong. Let's be honest about it. What he said is not beyond it.
Oh no, we're fucking well.
But he still worries me. He still worries me.
Arsenal's 2003-2004 team are frauds. Sam walking down if you're watching. Liverpool are well better.
Absolutely.
Andy, you've sort of mentioned it there. There's another mental and physical obstacle overcome, isn't it? Because I think there's been talk all week, and I wonder if we just do it as Liverpool fans generally, that we can sort of big up an opposition team. We're thinking about going to Wolves away on a Friday night, and the weather's not good. And you know, Wolves have took points of a couple of top 6 sides this season, but like you say, Liverpool are just completely competent there, to be honest.
Yeah, very professional. I mean, you kind of look at the way we are and the way it's been so long now. You kind of look for every time we've looked like we might do something, we fell or everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. So you naturally look for where it could go wrong or sinks in your own armour. And it was kind of, we're at the point now where I've started arguing against myself. Because in every Liverpool team, even when we've gone really close under Brendan and we've gone really close under Rafa, there's holes in the squad where it's either been a weak bench or we haven't got this or we haven't got that. But you try and look for a weakness in there, and I don't want to curse it, but you look for a weakness in the squad at the minute, and there just doesn't seem to be one. So then you look for micro errors and stuff like that, and again you come up with, you struggle to pick holes in it, and yet you still get that out because of that experience. But slowly that's seeping away and seeping away and seeping away. Absolutely fantastic. And you know what as well? It's going to be like this for every game. Basically, the minute we're not feeling this going into a game is the minute we're out the title race.
Yeah,
so absolutely. I'm prepared for that.
Yeah.
I'm prepared for that now. And you know what? Embrace it. Because we've got to. Because otherwise you'll drive yourself fucking crackers.
Yeah, and Andrew, we saw the stat before the game sort of floating around on Sky Sports about Liverpool teams that have been top at Christmas and maybe not done the business in the end. But Andy mentions it there. You can pick out weaknesses in them sides, and I don't know if it's the sort of benefit of hindsight that you're able to do that, but you look at this Liverpool team now and there's no sort of obvious weak link. I mean, even the team part tonight, there's probably some questions going into about Henderson and Fabinho starting together in midfield. They're both absolutely fine in the game, and then, you know, Liverpool get the business done once again.
Yeah, we're in a fantastic position, I think, where you've got Henderson coming into the team today, which was the one maybe where you weren't expecting him. but actually that's your club captain, you know, one of England's maybe best players in the World Cup, and he's coming into the team today, and you're, you know, where that's maybe something where we're slightly apprehensive about, but actually he's been fantastic. Like, why are we worried about that? And I think, as you said, we've not got anyone anymore who's a weakness in the side. Like, we're picking at the tiniest details in the side, which they're not big things at all, you know.
But what's interesting for me is you look at that side now, and especially the midfield. I mean, maybe there's three players. Let's be blunt. There's the goalkeeper, there's Van Dijk, and there's Mo Salah, and maybe Firmino, who are undroppable. Well, not undroppable, but
Another level.
The rest of them are totally interchangeable. So it's not like and we can get into this habit of, so we've got Newcastle coming up in the conversation of who will he rest in midfield. He's not resting.
It's a proper squad, isn't it, in that way? Yeah.
He's not changing up. These are component parts that offer different things.
Yeah.
None is no less valuable than the other. And I can't remember a time when we've had that.
Yeah, and like I say, some of the lads are down at Wolverhampton today, and here's a little insert from them. If they're not too busy speaking to Gary Neville, that is.
Liverpool Football Club are Christmas #1. They've come to Molineux tonight and done what Manchester City couldn't, what Chelsea couldn't, and they've beaten Wolves in their own backyard. And not only have they beat them, but they've done it with fucking absolute comfort. Kept them at arm's length. Wolves couldn't do anything about it. And the top of Christmas, you can't ask for much more than that. 18 played, 15 won. Manchester City have to go again tomorrow, and trust me, Liverpool are in their heads. If you haven't subscribed to the Anfield Wrap already, make sure you do. Listen to the post-match show, even more reaction. And enjoy your Christmas, enjoy your Friday night. Up the Reds! Yes!
Yeah, nice one to all the lads there. Andy, famously Gary Neville's best mates now.
Yeah, it seems so, doesn't it? You know, it's. I mean, when Gary Neville's suddenly coming around to the idea, you're in a good position. Yeah. I know we referenced it in the first part of the show, but you know what? To be fair, like how good Neil was with that. I know I do him in, but it just made me laugh when he went, "You're a better pundit than me," and it just.
And he's yeah, obviously. Yeah. So the Anfield Wrap lad, £5 a month.
So yeah, hopefully now Gary will accept our invitation to come on and have a chat with us. You know, we've been saying to Gary, you know, if you're watching and that.
The gauntlet's thrown down there for you, Gary. No, but Andy, this is another one. It's with all the doubts going into the game, it never really felt in doubt, did it? And I think that is the sign of the times for this Liverpool team now.
You know what, we're getting better and better at it, but I still think it's between 30, 35 and 45 when the Wolves had a couple of chances, because let's pretend they didn't. More through a little bit of sloppiness, I think, from us than anything else, but I think Wolves look like a decent side. It wasn't 2-0 looks like regulation now, and that's maybe what Liverpool's strength is, the fact that they're putting these results away, whereas in the previous, 3, 4, 5 seasons, we're just not. We're just getting the nick. I think I mentioned to you in play, it's a weird thing that the best sides always seem to get the break of the ball in both areas, in defence and in attack. And I don't think that's a coincidence. We just seem to be getting these little breaks of the ball where, you know, the striker doesn't hit, the forward doesn't hit the shot as well, and the keeper, you know, the keeper can call it in, or, you know, a defender misses it. But then there was a great one in the first half when there was a shot that come across the box when Milner fell over in full-back position when he was a full-back. And it's just a random boot from Van Dijk that just clears it. Previously, that's a goal, and then we'll concede another in the next 5 minutes because we're all doing our own heads in that we've conceded in the first place. We just seem to be getting that break of the ball in important areas and important times, and having the maturity, even when we're not playing 10 out of 10, to make the most of it and to capitalise.
Yeah, and Andy mentioned it there was a spell where Wolves looked like they were sort of getting a bit of a foothold in the game, but I suppose one of the good things about this Liverpool team now, and you could probably relate it to, you know, Chelsea and United teams in the past who've gone on and won leagues, is Liverpool just put the fire out completely, and then they came back out second half. And I remember hearing the commentary say that you know Liverpool would have been glad to get into the break, but Liverpool can control them storms now. They can weather them storms, and then they can go on again and press and get the second goal. And that's the best thing about this side, I think.
Yeah, they can do, and it's interesting you talk about weathering storms, because those conditions today were absolutely horrendous. Like I don't think we've seen rain that heavy. Like you could just tell, like some of the challenges that were going on early. Like I was a bit worried. First 10-20 minutes that was really going to turn into one of those games with horrible challenges going in, because there were a few of them early on where players were getting caught, and yeah, I feel like the weather could, in previous seasons particularly, had a massive impact on the game,
and especially against that type of side.
Yeah, I feel like it really could have derailed us. Friday night at Wolves, they're all up for 8 o'clock kickoff last Friday before Christmas.
So that, I mean, that's the thing, that's what I suppose the point I was trying to make previously. every excuse that we've used previously to lose a
doesn't
game or
apply
to
anymore,
throw a result, we're not doing it. It's all about our defending. There was a situation in the first half when they broke through and one of their players got it on the left-hand side and he looked like pretty much he was in the area. Within 30 seconds, he's passed it back over his own halfway line. Because we've just chased out, not in a haphazard way, in like a structured, controlled. And it's just, I don't know, it just seems next level from us at the minute.
And one of the things I mentioned in the first part there, Andy, it feels like maybe we can build these games up, you know, against newly promoted teams. You sort of feel like you know what you're going to get. Wolves maybe are a different side to the sides that we've seen come up, but you almost expected it to be a bit of a dog of a game. But Liverpool is so inclined to see through these dogs of games now. And I remember sort of talking about the United game going into the weekend, that if United want to bring Liverpool down to that level, Liverpool can operate that level, lads. They're a side now who any way you want to play Liverpool, they're gonna turn you over now.
Yeah, I think previously it's almost felt like, especially last season, like a boxing match where we've gone for the quick knockouts in the first 4 or 5 rounds, and if someone's been clever enough to sit deep and try and extend it a little bit and try and, you know, force it and force it to points, we've been a little bit impatient and, you know, maybe in this to extend the boxing analogy, if you will, you know, in our exuberance and enthusiasm to try and get the result, we've maybe dropped our guard a little bit towards the end of the match. This season, if teams don't want to engage, we're fine. We're Floyd Mayweather to death. And it seems to be bearing fruit. That, and also the other side of it, I've said this before, we've had the soft underbelly in previous seasons where teams know that we're going to give them a chance at some point. Now they're thinking, well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? They're not going to give us a goal. And then the likelihood is they're going to score. So where'd you go? Where'd you pitch your tent on that? Do you commit to sitting 10 men on the edge of the box again like Man United did last week? Or do you try and engage and try and get lucky? There's so many questions now if you're the opposition facing Liverpool.
Yeah, absolutely. And Andrew, in terms of star performance today, obviously pick out the 2 goal scorers, Mo Salah and Virgil van Dijk, who is our centre-half, is our number 4. We watched him defend. We're finally watching him score now.
We are indeed, and I think we're going to see plenty more of it now.
Yeah.
Virgil van Dijk, I'll wax lyrical about him all day, I really will. He's just the most composed, majestic defender that you will ever see. And he's not just a defender either. Like, when you see him in that opposition box, I feel like he's almost more at home than like some of our...
Traore.
When he outdoes him,
oh my goodness! I think he owns him now. I think
there's also the one that'll go under the radar where I think a cross comes in and Van Dijk gets to the back post and he just like controls it and takes a fake shot like a striker, and you look at him going,
yeah, it's almost like he's playing a different game. It really is. It's like he's at a different pace to everyone else. He doesn't have to sprint. He rarely slide tackles. He's one step ahead of everyone. And honestly, like, the number of times we've come out of games this season and thought he's got to be man of the match. He's got to be up there for Player of the Year, in my opinion. I'm putting the shout out early, but
simply having a wonderful Christmas time.
Absolutely.
And just other star performance for you though, obviously Salah and Van Dijk aside, I think Fabinho and Robertson again have really good games. I think Fabinho's definitely making a case to almost be the one midfielder who sort of see regularly now.
Yeah, you know what, I thought Robertson was probably, and this isn't to say he didn't play well, because he did, I thought it was probably one of his quieter games of late, because he's been playing to such a level. Fabinho's come in, you can see exactly what he does now, and you can see exactly what he's been bought for his past.
But even more so, because you never expect the assist that he gets from when he came from Monaco.
No, I think his calmness on the ball is there. I mean, he makes a mistake in the first half where he passes it on the edge of his own area, but that aside, his positional awareness seems very good. And then, as you said, the assist, the calmness for someone who's normally a defensive midfielder. But then again, he has played right back before, so maybe he's been in that position before for Monaco. But the cutback, the finish as well from Salah, let's talk about that for a minute. But the calmness of the cutback was great, and then Salah's just finished it, which was, I know it looks simple on the TV, but it's a lot, it's far more complicated than what you think. It's a really, really good finish. Yeah. So yeah, now you can see what he brings. And again, he gives us another positive question going forward, especially with Newcastle coming up on Boxing Day and Arsenal at the weekend. I said to you before, you're going to struggle to pick who's playing out midfield, but for the right reasons.
Yeah, absolutely, and we'll have more written stuff coming out from after the game, and there's post-match show to come from the lads in Wolves. We'll have more post-match pints and more reaction to all the games coming up over Christmas. Liverpool are top of the tree at Christmas. You cannot say fair in that. Liverpool are going absolutely nowhere. Up the fucking Reds.